In this section I will give you detailed information about the control page. So let's start here with the left side with the group and fixture selection. When we click on a group, it gets the red-orange frame, and this means that this group is selected. So now we can control this group. We can also deselect the group and select another group, and then we will control the other group. This is the first and most basic thing. Then we can not only control groups, but we can also control individual fixtures. So if we select the All Fixtures group and then click here on the Fixtures tab, we see all individual fixtures. We can select it and control, for example here, the light. What else can we do? When we select here at the beginning another group, for example the squares, and click then on the Fixtures tab, we see only the fixtures which are inside the group squares. For sure, we can control them individually as well. So the next part after selecting the groups of fixtures is controlling them. Therefore the app has different components. So for example color, light, or an overlay layer on top of the normal layer. And there are even some more components. All components you can see here are supported by the fixtures in the network here. When we click here the small arrow, we see all the other components that the app can handle. For example, there is position like pan and tilt, and there is projection like focus or zoom. But all of those components are not supported by the fixtures on the table. So we will close it so that we can focus only on the supported components. So how does it work? If we want to set a color, here we click in the color picker, and then we see here a small icon which represents the component we have just set. In this case, the color component to green. If we click here on the light, then we can set another component, like for example the master intensity. So here you can see the fixtures and we can dim them down a little bit. Or we can set another component, like for example the strobe component. Now the fixture is pulsing. Let's do two setups. Here on the line and floor, we select for example another thing, we select just the blue color. If we want to reset those components, we can use one of the two reset icons here at the top. The one in the top right corner with one light bulb will always reset the group or fixtures that are selected here. In this case, it's the line and floor bar group. So if we click reset, only the blue of the line and floor bar will be resetted and the squares are still doing the green pulsing. So if we set here another color again, for example blue, and we click the other reset icon, it will reset all of the groups and fixtures in the network. So if we do it now, everything is resetted. The blue on this side and the green pulsing on the other side. But you can also reset only individual components. I will show this now. So let's take here the squares again, and we set for example here blue, we set the master dimmer, and we activate the pulsing again. So if we only want to reset for example the pulsing, we can see here that we have the different components in small icons, like here the master dimmer, the pulsing and the blue. If we click here on the pulsing, now only the pulsing is resetted, and you see that the fixtures light up in blue with the master intensity reduced. If we click here on the master intensity, now they only light up blue with full intensity. And we can even reset the blue, so now the fixtures do not light up anymore. With this way, you can do some individual resetting. So there's one more way to reset components. I will make a similar setup. So now we select two groups, we make them again green, we reduce the intensity and activate the pulsing. So we can also use the reset icons here on the right side to reset the components. So how does it work? If we click here on this icon, it will reset the strobe component. In our case, this is the pulsing here. So if we click reset, the pulsing will be resetted. All the resets here with those reset icons will reset those components of all of the selected groups. So if we deselect this group and do the reset now, then only the master intensity of the squares, which is the selected groups, will be resetted. So we will activate the master intensity again to this value, and we will activate the pulsing. So as we saw with those icons, we can individually reset the master intensity and the strobe mode. And if we want to reset both of the components, we can use here the reset icon for the light part, then the master intensity and strobe will be resetted. and we can always use this icon here at the top to reset the colors. So one more thing about how values of a component are displayed in the app. So if we have here, for example, the square and the line group, we select a color, and then we go here to the light tab, to the master intensity, and we set for the squares a master intensity like this, and for the line and floorboard plus we set a lower master intensity, and then we select both groups. Then you can see that we have here two values of this component master intensity. So you can see here the orange color in the corner, which represents the squares, you can see here, and the same with the yellow for the line and floorboard plus group, which is here. And if you then click in the master intensity fader again, then you will override this value and both of your selected groups will get the new value. So now you know everything about how to select groups and fixtures, set components and reset them again. I think this was a very technical video. In the next videos I will present to you the different components of the app in detail.